My family invited me to the reunion to brag about my cousin getting into Harvard. As everyone applauded, my grandmother sniffed. Some people just aren't academic. I grabbed another beer and kept quiet. But I'd been listening to this crap for 2 hours straight, and honestly, I was done. See, I'm the family screw-up. Always have been. 28 years old, dropped out of college junior year, drive a beat-up Tacoma with 180,000 miles on it, rent a basement apartment that permanently smells like mildew no matter how many candles I burn. My cousin Sophie, full ride to Harvard Law, summa cum laude undergrad, honor society president, dean's list every semester, student body treasurer, the favorite grandchild since the day she was born. The reunion was at my aunt's McMansion in the suburbs. You know the type. Circular driveway, fountain in the front yard, those weird decorative pillars that serve no actual purpose, catered food from some fancy place downtown, open bar with the actual bartender, Sophie's Harvard acceptance letter framed on the mantle like it was the Declaration of Independence. I showed up in work jeans and steel-toed boots because I came straight from a job site. Big mistake. My uncle spotted me first, loud enough for everyone to hear. Look at that! Working on a Saturday. That's dedication right there. My mom laughed that nervous laugh she does when she's embarrassed. Oh, you know him. He's doing his best. Sophie came over and hugged me with this pitying smile that made my skin crawl. It's so good to see you. How's the handyman thing going? Electrician, I corrected. But sure, handyman works too. Oh, right. She turned back to her cluster of Harvard friends who all looked like they shopped at the same expensive store. Anyway, as I was saying about corporate law internships, I grabbed a slider from the catering table and stood by the grill, nursing my beer while everyone took turns toasting Sophie's incredible future. My grandmother cornered me by the cooler, her face all serious and concerned. It's not too late, you know. Community college has night classes, trade schools. Some people just aren't academic, but you could still learn a proper trade, get certified. I just nodded and grabbed another beer. Didn't say a word. Then my uncle tapped his wine glass with a fork. Speech time. Everyone gathered around while he went on for what felt like 10 minutes about Sophie's potential, her brilliant mind, how she was going to change the world, probably become a Supreme Court justice someday. Then he turned and looked directly at me. Not everyone's meant for greatness, and that's okay. Some people keep the lights on. Literally. He laughed at his own joke. And hey, we need those people too. Society needs ditch diggers and light bulb changers. Everyone laughed, even my mom. Sophie looked embarrassed for maybe half a second, but she didn't correct him. Didn't say anything. That's when something in me just snapped. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app. My hands were surprisingly steady. You're absolutely right, Uncle Tom. I'm definitely not academic. Never have been. But since we're all celebrating achievements today, I turned my phone screen around toward the crowd. My account balance glowed bright in the afternoon sun. $68,412. And right below it, last month's direct deposit, $22,300. The grill went completely silent. Even the music seemed to stop. Sophie squinted at my screen. That's impossible, Master Electrician, I said calmly, taking a slow sip of my beer. Industrial grade, high voltage work, data centers, hospital backup systems, power grid maintenance, the kind of stuff where one wrong move and you're dead before you hit the ground. My grandmother's wine glass literally stopped halfway to her mouth and just hung there in the air. I make about 18 grand a month, I continued. Sometimes more during storm season when everyone's power goes out and they need emergency repairs at 3 a.m. I just finished a 3-week contract job at a server farm upstate, paid $40,000, cash bonus for finishing early. My uncle's spatula was frozen in midair over the grill. A burger was actively burning. Sophie's looking at what, 7 years minimum at Harvard, undergrad debt plus law school? I did the math. That's at least 300 grand in student loans, probably closer to 400 with living expenses. I took a long sip of my beer and let that number sink in. I'll probably clear $1 million in career earnings before she even passes the bar exam. My mom's face went bright red. Why didn't you ever tell us any of this? Because you never asked, I said quietly. You were all too busy explaining what a disappointment I was. Too busy comparing me to Sophie at every single family gathering for the past decade. Sophie started to say something, but I was already setting down my beer and grabbing my keys. My uncle's mouth was hanging open like a broken door. Sophie looked like someone had slapped her across the face. My grandmother just stared down at her wine glass. But hey, congrats on Harvard, Sophie. That's genuinely impressive. Maybe in 10 years you'll catch up to the family screw-up. I walked to my truck while 27 relatives stood completely frozen on that patio.